Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Unlimited here at GosuGamers. My name is Sharil. I'm the head. I'm the lead CS:GO guy. You know, the guy with the pew pew pew. So today we have something special. We have Maksym Bilonogov, the general producer and chief visionary officer of WePlay Esports. I have my colleagues here, Christy. Wave, Christy. And also all the way in Ukraine next to Maksym is my other colleague, Dave, Andrea, also known as Dave.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, today we're going to talk a bit about the currently happening WePlay Academy League, which is currently going through its semi-final, I'm mistaken. So just as a quick recap, maybe Maksym can talk a little bit about what is the Academy League for WePlay.
It's a tournament for the juniors teams of the big names in KS scenes. So for us, it's the future of Counter-Strike. So I understand we should connect earlier with them. I think for the young players, it's a big motivation to play on that stage, to feel these vibes here of the competitive. We are doing this tournament as we did a major on the highest quality with the best production. We really love this format because now we're on the final stage of constructing arena in Los Angeles, and we are making a lot of research about the content, what they like, and there it was interesting for us that more and more people stopped watching tier one like NBA or other competitive and start watching Students League. They're trying to find a new LeBron James or a new Shaquille O'Neal. They're buying the cards, they're collecting the cards, they're growing on the price. So they're going crazy with all of this stuff. And we thought if we can do this in esports, if we can find the new simple here. So we think that this is really interesting project, and we put all of our experience in this tournament.
It's funny that you just mentioned about how people are really looking into the young generations in sports, and especially for CS, I feel like in the recent 1-2 years, the need of finding talents is bigger and bigger because, you know, the tier 2 scene hasn't been super taken care of in the previous years. Many of them are transitioning now to Valorant.
Yeah.
And one day Simple, all of Meister and all these, you know, Zeus, some of them are already retired. And what we do in 2 years, I don't know, the 2023 major,
Yeah.
how is it looking? So I do believe that this WePlay Academy League is, for those that are not watching, they should, because in 1-2 years, you'll find the rising stars that started here today.
Yeah, we hope, as we did like Forge of Masters, our winner was Avant-Garde team. And now we see what they are showing on the stage. It's one of the best team in the world now. So it's interesting format, I think. And if we can see for the tier 1 scene, we got the market when we have ESL and Blast and no time for the tier 1 tournament, but we want to go into the Counter-Strike like in Dota, so we should do something, and we find this format. It was I think it was perfect match for all of the things, and we decided to do it.
So it was a conscious choice not to compete with Blast and ESL on the tier 1, and
yeah, they will the tier 1 thing. I think it's predictable and a little bit boring because each weekend we see the same teams, the same names, the same result. So okay.
Yeah, here we don't even have Navi.
Yeah.
About a year and a half ago, you and I spoke, Max, right before the Dota 2 minor that you did in Bukovel. And we talked a lot then about how WePlay was much more than a tournament. You guys are storytellers, and you were kind of pioneering this entire new concept of making everything part more theatrical, a lot more of a storyline, story driven and everything. And we've seen, and on the Dota end, especially, I know you've done it in CSGO as well. But the fans get excited and we look forward to it. Now, again, you've got this new project. Again, the initiative here you're doing with the Academy Sports, another kind of pioneering thing that you're going into with, we're talking about, what is it, $100,000 prize pool for an academy team for youth. This is just really unheard of. It's a land opportunity for them. All of the pieces that you've put into place for them in this project is quite substantial in terms of growth and nurturing and looking at the future. And I'm really excited to see where it all goes and what you do with it next, because from what we've seen in your last projects, which, are your storytelling and your theatrics, how phenomenal that's grown into and what it's become. The same, I'm hoping, will be from this project as well, because it's absolutely amazing what we're seeing. The players are having an opportunity of a lifetime here. And I think that's something to really explore and talk a lot more about, especially we see what happens when we don't have that Dota 2 tier 2 team scene dying. Shh, don't tell. So really kind of, I'm really excited about this and to hear more about what you're actually doing, how the players are faring, and just kind of how it's being received.
We really like that the players in junior teams is not so
hard to work with.
They're not divas yet.
Not so feeling like celebrities, and they're very simple. They're always helping us in a lot of with shootings, with all of this stuff. It was like the same way like with the fighting league, because we understand that the fighting community and the Counter-Strike and Dota community players teams are on a little bit different level. So now we're really looking for a Counter-Strike scene. We really wanted to come. We bought media rights from the Blast for the Russian language CIS region. So from September, we will cover it from the CIS region. So we are looking for the Counter-Strike scene, and we understand that if we will start our conversation and working with the juniors teams, we understand that in 2-3 years, it can be the first team. We are speaking with one of the CEO here, so we are speaking with them. We understand their needs. We understand what they will need maybe in 2-3 years, how we can develop this scene. Because as you said, if we will not have this ecosystem, so the game can die. So we try not to earn money now, and we're trying to work like. If we can remember in 2013-14 how Riot Games or League of Legends started their ecosystem, they told that in 3, 4, 5 years we will only invest, and we understand that we will not earn any money, but we're trying to build ecosystem. So we are just, I think, near the same way, but we are not developed Counter-Strike, but we're trying to find the way how to find our place in this market.
We've talked before in general, at least among ourselves on previous podcasts or elsewhere, about kind of the community and the development and the game developers. Whose responsibility is it to keep the ecosystem going or to keep things going? And a lot of times, we said, is it the game developer or the community? And oftentimes, whether who should or should not do it, we see the community being the one to step up and do it. And that's what I feel like I see a lot in WePlay. You guys are always stepping up and looking at ways to continue the ecosystem for various games to continue to make an impact, to make sustainability for the game and kind of a healthy future. And in Dota 2, you know, it's a different world, and you know, we don't have the academy team structure, the pipeline the same way that at least CSGO seems to have it. And to be able to now focus on CSGO and putting it into that way, it shows, you know, how you focus in on the individual games and their strengths and what they need and what the situation is. And I think that it will be amazing if we can see where I look forward to seeing where this will be in 3 years.
We're all looking forward. Yes, it's great.
We are looking for this format also for North America. We're looking for Asia, for China. So we are looking for, we already, I don't know if we can say that, we already planned like 6 seasons of the academy, yeah, with different regions. So we will try to develop this scene as hard as we can. And I think that the new celebrities really on this land, and the new all the fans of the first teams, I think will cheer for the new faces. And when the simple will like, or who knows, or other of the influencers will maybe train these guys like in 2-3 years. We can say in this way, we can say maybe shoot the story about this player started from WePlay or from the Forge of Masters, and it was the first point when they come on the big stage and to do their first steps.
I gotta say, I got to talk to a few coaches during my stay here already, and they pointed out an interesting fact, because we keep talking about these youngsters, about these kids getting their chance and the shot for real, you know, to experience and understand what's ahead and how this career of them can turn. But at the same time, you know, when you are someone well established in the main team, they told me, I won't say simple, but let's say someone similar to that status. When you see in your academy team someone that is threatening your chair, you know, you already start to work on yourself even more and push yourself even more. So this is also helping the main team, because you suddenly don't have the comfort anymore of thinking, oh, I'm fine for the next 5 years because there's nobody behind me coming to take my place.
Yeah, we will do all the the juniors will take the first place of the team.
Bottom line is that suddenly the scene gets even better, even more competitive. Everyone is willing to put in the hard work again, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the hope, that everybody wants to see the community grow, and seeing the youngsters to take over the old guard to keep the community and game going. Talking about community, maybe you can touch a little bit about the current status of playoffs. How did you plan the structure, and how did you came in to pick the teams that you have chosen so far to play in this first season?
I think I'm not responsible for this question, but we got our esports department, but I can tell you that we just sit on the table and thinking about what the format, how we can go into the Counter-Strike, what could be interesting. We try to find the place and the way and the timings how we can do the tier 1 tournament, but we spoke with the teams, with the coaches, with the managers, with the CEO, and trying to find, is it real in this year, in the next year? And we fully understand that like looks like unreal because it's really hard schedule they got. So we fit together with an esports department, 2 Eugens, Eugen Luchaninka and Hitras. They find this interesting format, and we ask the teams, and they told that it's really interesting format, and if we will make it in the vacation of the first team,
off-season.
Yeah, at the end of the season, so it will be more focus on this tournament. for us it worked perfect. Now with the EPL in this time, but it was unpredictable, and we fully understand. But when we made the online part, we saw unexpected numbers on the stream, because we saw it will be less than we see, but it's worked.
Even now, I mean, of course, the stream is not super high on if you look on but it's still super good numbers, considering that you also have the ESL Pro League going on at the same time.
Long term, we are not looking for the numbers now. It's a format that will work on the 6th, 7th, 8th season. So it's long term formats that we're gonna do.
And I remember when we've spoken in the past, you talked a lot about how your approach or your philosophy at WePlay is to constantly go in and look and tweak and go in and look and tweak. Every step is a learning experience for you guys. You don't walk into each thing thinking and planning for perfection, but what can we learn and take opportunities from for the next time and building on that. And, and here I hear it again, which obviously is ringing true. One of the things that I love is that you did make it a LAN as part of the format, because that experience from a youth perspective or an academy team is so invaluable, and it's so important. It's amazing. And in this time where LANs are so difficult right now to hold and to do and to get to even be able to pin down where you're going to have it, not talking about anything specific, but when, it's very hard, and yet you still went forward and made this as part of your format, which is amazing. So how is that happening, and what are you guys having to do to work around it, and how is that kind of working out for everybody right now?
We got really good rules, protocols of the COVID security. We saw some mistakes on the Animajor, because for us it was the biggest tournament, and we got 18 teams the first time for WePlay. It was really it was difficult for us, but we did it. So we improve our protocols, and for us, LANs vibes, it's a totally different world for the players, for the productions, for all of the stuff. 18% near 75% vaccinated from the production, and we play stuff. So we're always checking and making express tests, PCR tests. So we got really good protocols that is working. We made four LANs during the pandemic, if I'm not wrong. We made 4 LANs and 0 cases of the COVID. So
that's absolutely amazing right there. It really is.
So we're just open for the if you know the connection to the Riot Games or Free Fire, we are ready to help all of publishers to make them World Championship or other tournaments, because our rules, we know how to do this, and we're ready to help. So if someone needs the help, and we really love our work. We can't even say that we are working, we are living like this. So we love what we do. So we are trying to do always our best, and to improve, to find the maybe angles where we can make better, and our staff don't going after the broadcast, don't going home. They're trying to do something more and more and more. And I think maybe in some years later we will see what WePlay will be, but we're just hope that all will be good.
Just let me tell you, because I'm here and I experienced this. I mean, this is my first LAN tournament since Book of El Minor, actually, 2020. And I was just, eyeballing at the WePlay Animajor. I was like, oh God, why this is not with the audience? I want to be there. I want to see this arena. So I'm finally in this arena, and to my colleagues, I just need to tell them that I got a PCR test on the night I arrived. Then I got a quick test the next day, although I'm full vaccinated. And yes, the protocols here are super strict, as you can see. Even we are with masks, although
But I'm vaccinated.
we know we are vaccinated, and we just keep it like that because it just needs 1 second of not paying attention or not, getting way too used with the people around you, and an accident can happen. And I'm just super happy to see that everyone here is super careful with that. Indeed, I had to add that. And that I'm super happy to finally see the WePlay Academy major stage. It's crazy what's happening here, indeed.
All right. One of the things that is interesting, at least for this particular event, is the team requirements of having at least four players under the ages of 16 to 20. I think no other events have that particular set age rule. As the community grows, as esports going to grow every different sports, do you think there's a need to relook and reduce the age limit? Opening it up to younger players to experience a tournament. I think one of the things that I'm really amazed that you guys have done is giving these young kids. I'm sorry, I'm feeling old already, but giving these young players the exposure of being in a LAN.
Yeah, I understand the question. We spoke with the CEOs, we spoke with the teams, and it was considering. We spoke with all of the teams, and we find this rule like the best rule for the teams. Of course, it can be younger, like 14, 15 players, but it could be one player, or like maybe older, 22, 23, like the coach or the big brother of this team. But it was for all of the teams, this rule is work. So I think it's the best way. It's academy, it's a junior teams, so we should find the way how they will feel like the juniors, Well,
it's good that this is also something that I find super amazing, and I keep seeing happening with WePlay tournaments, or when WePlay has an idea, you guys actually check with your direct clients, with the players, with the teams all the time, and you exchange ideas, and you get informed, and you act according to their needs or their suggestions, And this was the case with the Academy League as well, with the age setup. And of course, many people at home, perhaps even people from Dota to scene or League of Legends, they think, but why 16? Because look at Sumail in Dota, he won international at the international at 14. Give them a lower age. But it's good to hear that can be negotiated on one player specific. At the same time, we also have a team here who had to make a roster change just coming into the LAN because one of the players had school engagement and couldn't drop that just like that. Now he will see the LAN and he will feel sorry about it, and next year he will be ready for it or next season.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my question is, have you run into any difficulties though, or challenges that are different because of their ages? Do they need, have you run into where people needed guardianships or special permission forms or adjustments for school schedules, things like this? Have you found that there was really anything significant that stood out because they were so young? That you needed to address that you weren't expecting?
After the Major, no difficulties really. All difficulties was on the Major. All teams are different, and all teams different needs. All teams got their managers, and managers fighting for their needs. So here it's
I feel like there's something else here for another episode.
It's definitely a different episode altogether.
But,
it's really with pleasure, and it's easy to work with them. They're simple guys. They're open for ideas. They're love fun. A lot of smiles, a lot of laugh, a lot of jokes here. So I think it's very easy connect, to work with them.
So after working with Dota, with fighting games, would you say that this league and these players are the most, joyful and grateful for having the tournament?
Fighting players, and these players,
Okay,
it's
understood. No need to comment.
Well, I mean, $100,000 prize pool is absolutely astounding, and especially, I mean, for anybody. And then especially you're talking about youth academy who don't normally get to participate in things to this caliber. So, I mean, that alone has got to be something that is, incredibly
This
very grateful
stage-
for.
this
Plus, I
stage,
know-
these players deserve this, and so if they deserve this, it will be more viewers and more interest, and you asking and telling about this, so you already find this interesting, and I think a lot of people should find this interesting, so we will continue to do this and trying to reach as much as we can, audience, viewers, fans,
Interesting
media.
But interesting or not, it's a necessity, really. I mean, esports is aging, it's getting the people that are already the pros and have been established, they're getting close to retirement or they are retiring. We're having a new guard come in, new players, younger people getting more involved. The future is really the young kids, the new generations. We have an opportunity to kind of prep them, to kind of mold them, to get them used to everything. And by having these academy things, we're helping kind of not just prepare them for what the future could be, but even ourselves as an industry, we're kind of shaping it by getting them at a younger age. We're helping say, this is how you behave. This is what's expected of you. This is how you should behave on social media. All of these kinds of things, we're starting to be able to do that. And in a sense, it's a responsibility that we, as the older generation, the older guard, those that have more experience, have towards esports as a whole, to be able to get it prepped and get it going for the next wave. And I think that's something that you guys will be doing, and it's amazing. I'm excited, and it's not that it's interesting; it's necessary.
So I think that we're building this future together with you, with the teams, with the CEOs. We don't know how it will be, but we can build it together, and we make new rules, and we can say, okay, we can do better, and we can find the way how to do better, and we can make it together from your side, from our side, from the teams, players, CEOs, management side. So we should help each other. It's our main point. We are trying not to compete with other like TOs. We are trying to help and to grow, because if we're going to speak about the money, so it's really esport with comparison from the sport like football or basketball. It's really a small industry, so we should grow together this industry and not competing inside. So if we can do something together and to grow it and to build ecosystem or to do something, we definitely should do this.
It's important. I mean, besides you say, $100,000, just it's an attraction point for media players, blah, blah. But at the same time, we are people who grew in the era where the prize pools were a keyboard or a mouse.
Yeah.
And we had for so many years the discussion that esports is not sustainable. A young player and his parents will never allow him to drop the school for 2 years just to play for mice, and this is like, again, what you do right now, it's commendable because it sets a direction for this esports world. And that from here on, even if you are 14, 16-year-old, you can earn money, you can start your career somehow. And it's not just playing from home for
we will try to go to focus not for the prize pools, of course. If we can see the Dota, the international, always all talking about the money.
Mm-hmm.
But if we will see the soccer, or the world championship of the soccer, no one knows what the prize pools, but they're huge. and all focused on the sports scene, on the players, on the influencers, on the tactics, of the flags of the teams in each region they're playing. So we're, of course, the prize pool is the easiest way to track the media, but we will try to focus on a little bit other ways, and we will announce it soon, I think.
All right, announcement incoming.
I think the
Yeah.
prize pool is, I think the prize pool is definitely something that I think the support and knowing that there are options and there are things out there that can help are super important for the team organizations, because what's in it for them to have an academy team potentially, if there's nothing that their academy teams can play in or can do or contribute to, or there's no support system, or there's nothing that will help kind of make it attractive to even get players, things like this. And so, one thing we see in China, especially in the Dota 2 scene, is they do have these academy teams, they have these academy leagues, they have all sorts of things. The big teams have their own academy teams, things like this. I think it's even in Riot with League and everything, there's a pipeline. And in say Dota, we don't have that pipeline at all. And we definitely suffer for it. And now in CSGO, you've made it attractive for these organizations to say, this is worth having an academy team to create our pipeline. This is worth, investing in these young ones and creating a route for them, for them to be able to progress, to grow, because we have something now that will support us, that will, for us to look forward to. So I think that's another key point of it, is the prize pool might be attractive to the media or even the player itself, but it also helps give hope, I guess, to the team organizations that there's a future, to do this.
Yeah, sure. I think the prize pool actually gives an indication that the teams know there is support from the community, that this academy team is actually working. It's going to do something for the community. It's not just it's by the way thing. And then the next question is, are we going to see more of these academy leagues from other organizations? Are you willing to be the blueprint for other companies to take all of this and make it something their own to build the community?
Yeah, of course, we are already speaking with other organizations, and we got some names already agreed. So just need a little bit time to announce all of the stuff, announce another second season, announce, as I said for you, that we are looking for other regions, from teams from the other regions. So I think it will be, we think that we want to do this worldwide format for the regions with their maybe local lands for each region, and then the best from the best team from the region will come to the grand finals.
Okay, make a finals of best of the
Yeah,
region.
Major.
Like any major. I don't think he wants to talk about any major. I know what you want. It was also from home.
We can talk about the major if you want.
No, we are here for WePlay Academy League.
Okay, serious podcast, understand?
No, but not many might have watched any major. Many that are here.
Yeah, no.
That's impossible. I saw the viewership numbers. Everybody watched it.
True.
But then also the question is, do you think this can be replicated for other games, other esports? I mean, apart from other titles.
I'm not sure, but I'm not sure we should sound the titles on the teams of the organizations. So it depends on the ecosystem of each discipline. Yeah, but this format was done really, really quick. We decided to do this like for a month. Not so fast as we built any major set. Yeah, for a month and a half, it was crazy. We worked like 24/7 for sure. But I like that we're taking decisions really fast.
And you run with it. I mean,
yeah.
you don't second guess it. You execute it. Yeah. I remember we talked to, we had on the same Unmuted podcast, we had Mr. Yura, head of the Animator, and he briefly told us how you guys found out just 2 months before the Animator that you will host the major.
Yeah.
And that podcast was held like a night before the first day of the playoffs. I got nervous. I was like, oh my God, how this would look. And then I saw it on the stream and I was like, okay, how was that built into months? Well, it's in play.
Yeah.
Don't have to ask.
We closed one manufacturer for all of the months, and they work in three three teams work for 8 hours, 24/7 to make this set.
To make the statues and all
yeah.
the Well, I'm also talking about stage setup because people that haven't watched or must know that this WePlay Academy League going on right now, although it looks super impressive for what it is, an academy league, it doesn't benefit from AR. The focus is on the players, on the competitiveness, and I kind of like that you don't take the spotlight from them with flashy things on the screen.
It was we are using only like augmented reality starts and all of the things, but as you understand from the broadcast, and it's really perfect that we're trying to focus because we want to open new faces. We all know that tier 1 faces and all see, as I said, each week, all know what they're doing and what they will do, and we can help or maybe like overlay them by the augmented reality, and we can show our possibilities. But here you see it's done like in American style, American Students League style, and we don't want to make a lot of content that will be unfocused from the players. We're trying to focus to the faces, to the teams, and trying to find the new celebrities, the new talents. So if you can find, or if the viewers can find it, it will be great.
Okay, Max and Div, I'm ready to take names. So who have you found so far? Who do I need to invest in and put my money on?
I think we can find. We thought now it is not here, but they should make more.
Well, the grand finals are Saturday, and people should watch that, because even now in the upper bracket finals and yesterday, I mean, there were 2 O's. Yesterday 2 sets of 2 O's, but these teams do look. I mean, they have moments when they look super cohesive and understanding what this is about, and of course, some flinch, some hesitate, but this is all about when you have a tournament like this. This is where you are allowed to learn and to adapt and improve.
It's very interesting things that we are using here. If we're talking about that, we are not using augmented reality, but if you see, we use hard ping, as the viewer said. It's hard tracker that we're using on the players. It's very interesting to see how their emotions of the young players, how they feeling in clutch, 1 with 2, 1 with 3. It's really great when you can see. I even watch to the polls and not watching the game.
That's an interesting new start, right?
Yeah.
For these youngsters, and I have to say that I know that in CS it's pretty common to have comms on the broadcast to show the comms every now and then, but I find it very brave from you to allow a 16-year-old with the comms, because I was like, oh God, they don't have the tournament experience. Do they know what to say? They are aware that they are on the broadcast?
We spoke with them like they're pro players, like they're tier 1 players. We spoke, and we think it's one of the interesting part. So that is why we're here. That is why we want to see them, we want to hear them, we want to understand how they thinking, and we can maybe study something from them. So I think that it's another generation, as you said, and we should watch really hard for them and maybe study from them.
and learn from them sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
And
interesting you're
speak-
saying that. Sorry, go ahead, Christy.
Oh no, I was going to say, and speaking of learning from and, kind of academy stuff and everything, the CSGO tournament isn't the only thing you've got going on right now, specifically that is geared and designed towards kind of learning and growing. You're also, while you're doing this, having the esports journalism masterclass, which is also kind of along the same lines, in
What it is.
terms of the youth or people making their entry into esports journalism and preparing for the future and things like that. So tell us a little bit about that.
By the way, we're just started our course in the National Theatre, Cinema and Television University. We open our course for the I don't know how it's correct in English. Not cartoon. It's director of the animation. Yeah, all of our stuff from the augmented reality and real engine, we will study for the new students. It will be bachelor's and master of fine arts in computer graphics. So this part of the esports journalism, it will be in ecosystem of studying and developing ecosystem of the esport. It's one part. So it's our PR department. They're doing this stuff, and it's all going to the one goal to grow this industry, to help and to show the new generation, to show someone who want to come into the esport, not like player or maybe like a journalist, maybe like a caster or analytic. We're trying to help them and to give them tools how to do this.
It's funny because some countries, especially through Northern Europe, they do have esports programs in schools, but that's mainly focused on play. You have a Counter-Strike course, a Dota, League of Legends, where you learn the game. But I'm yet to find or to hear about journalism focused esports.
WePlay Esports University in Tallinn, who knows?
Adding on that, we at GosuGamers also have a plan on developing something, and we'll talk about it more sometime soon.
All right. So, do you have any final words from us, Maksym? Something something you want to see in the future for the Academy League, perhaps?
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for all who will see or who will listen to this podcast. So just help all of us to grow the industry.
Yeah,
That's
work
all.
together.
Let's do it together. Let's build future of esport together.
Yeah, there's some wise words.
Stronger together.
Yes, always stronger together. So
Well, we really appreciate not only you coming and joining us, we really appreciate you having Div there on site as well. It's really fantastic that we have the firsthand experience and we'll be able to see it and hear. And I believe she's got some photos to share and everything as well. But more than that, we're really appreciate and really excited to see this initiative and this project, because it is something that is, like I said earlier, is necessary. And we at GosuGamers do also believe and try to promote for the future of esports and the youth academy and generations and everything. So we really appreciate it.
yeah, we appreciate for what WePlay's been doing. We hope to see more of this as seasons 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9.
All the way up through 6 so far. So
all the way up all over the world. We want to build up the community, as we said earlier.
Yep.
So
looking forward to it.
Yeah, so we are going to wrap up our podcast for today. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment to our social media channels on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. We're also now on Spotify and iTunes. Just search for GosuGamers Unmuted. And also don't forget to follow us on social media. We have some nice memes going around. We have some nice memes going around, and also we do like to interact with you. We want to hear from you. You are the community, so we want to work with you to build up the community. So I think that's it for us. That's it. That's it from us. We are signing off.
Goodbye from Kiev.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody is unmuted. Signing off.